Hey everybody, welcome back to the more slop, and today I wanted to talk about something really stupid, something that really grinded my gears, really tickled my pickle, put a possum up my prostate. So I want to talk about Valorant's anti-cheat Vanguard and how it is genuinely one of the worst things ever made, and how it compromises your PC in such a way that it might as well be malware, and yet people try to defend it. Despite the fact that it can literally hard break your PC and actually destroy your drivers, and to the point to where it corrupts your literal install windows. So people have this preconception that Riot Video Games, which is now owned by Tencent, is going to be completely fully competent and able to handle an anti-cheat like Vanguard. And the issue isn't that it's kernel level anti-cheat. There are some kernel level anti-cheats that exist already. The problem is that it has access as soon as your computer is booted, and that's kind of the big problem with Vanguard, and it's also why it's so easy to bypass Vanguard. You see, the easiest way to bypass Vanguard, and this is not new information, is to just put your cheats on a USB and disguise the USB as a driver for a Razer product or a Logitech product, and basically you spoof it to where Vanguard detects it as like a Razer mouse or a Razer keyboard or a Logitech keyboard or a Logitech headset. And because those things are greenlit and okay, all you have to do is make it to where when your cheats run off this USB stick, the USB stick itself is shown up as a driver. Make sure the driver numbers are accurate, and you can basically spoof it to where now they can run and inject the cheats into Valorant, because you're allowed to run drivers into Valorant. Because obviously if you couldn't, how the fuck would you use your mouse and keyboard, right? You have to be able to use your mouse and keyboard to play the game. So not only is this a kernel level anti-cheat, a huge security problem, it doesn't even stop people from cheating. It is extremely easy to bypass Valorant's anti-cheat. In fact, it's so easy that if you go to Google and you type in Valorant cheats, you have about 30 different websites all selling cheats anywhere from 20 to 100 US dollars. Which, by the way, the reason they're selling them for so much and why it's so cost effective is because there's so many people cheating and so many people want cheats for competitive games. The competitive integrity of the game is not defined by the anti-cheat, so you're compromising people's safety and the safety of their computers solely to stop cheaters, and you're not even stopping cheaters. You're making the barrier to entry a little bit more difficult than, let's say, something like BattleEye or, the Epic Games easy anti-cheat. Like, yeah, the barrier to entry on Valorant cheating is a little bit more complex, but the fact of the matter is that it's still extremely easy. Anybody with any sense would know very quickly that drivers are the security flaw. You have to be able to use your mouse and keyboard, so they're just going to put the cheats and spoof them as mouse and keyboard. And, if you have two mice in your computer, what's the game going to do? Just stop? Like, what if you use a wireless mouse and a wired mouse? Like, you're just going to ban those people? That's fucking stupid. You can't do that. So what ends up happening is people just get the cheat anyways, and you've compromised your system. So why is your system compromised when running Vanguard? It's very simple. If Vanguard ever, and I mean ever, gets reverse engineered, then that means that someone could inject cheats onto your system with kernel level access, and they could just destroy millions of computers that have Vanguard active at any given time. And I don't trust, like, there's security leaks from Microsoft, from Apple, Verizon, AT&T, tech companies like Google, places that are 10 times the size with 10 times the budget as Riot Video Games are getting hacked on the daily. And if you don't think that's going to happen with Vanguard in your PC at kernel level on launch, means that you are setting yourself up to have every single piece of data on your computer taken. And if it's a more malicious attack, then what would happen is that they wouldn't just take your data, they would destroy your computer. They would just make your computer completely unusable, and then you would have a $5,000 chunk of e-waste. And now what happens? Well, you've just destroyed millions of people's computers. Thousands of dollars have went down the drain for individuals. Millions of dollars overall in damages. And you want to know what? You'll never be reimbursed by Riot Video Games. You'll never get anything back from them. And that's not even And this is just the actual legitimate concerns. There's still some conspiracy theory concerns that personally I think are very, not really conspiracy theory, it's just things that could happen in theory. So, for instance, Tencent is owned by the Chinese government, and to comply with the Chinese government, you have to be able, on a moment's notice and a moment's whim, to give over any and all user information. And if you don't, the Chinese government will forcefully take it from you using force. So, Tencent in and of itself owning Riot Games is already a huge conflict of interest in the terms of user data and user safety, and the fact that Vanguard gives them unlimited access to your computer is kind of a big fucking deal for a company that is owned by China. And while a lot of people say, I have nothing to hide, I haven't done anything illegal, why would the Chinese government care about what I'm doing? The issue is that there's a million different reasons why they would use your data. They're not going to use it to steal your fucking identity to take out debit cards, all right? It's the Chinese government. What they're going to do is they're going to use it for logistics in order to target vulnerable people, in order to spread false information, to disrupt the flow of American way of life. And they'll do this. They will do this if they want to. And the thing is I'm not saying they're going to do it, but it's just the fear of the possibility of it being there should be more than enough to raise a few eyebrows. You should look at this with some scrutiny, because if power can be abused, people will eventually abuse it. And so just because it's working now and your computers aren't dying and exploding right now doesn't mean they won't. Vanguard in and of itself is not necessarily problematic. It's just problematic in the way that it functions, in the sense that it's always on, and as soon as you boot your PC, it takes priority over every other thing, which means Microsoft literally cannot add security measures for Vanguard because Vanguard comes on before the Microsoft security measures, which means that if Vanguard is ever compromised, your PC is fucked. And not only is your PC fucked, you are fucked, because everything on your PC is now compromised. Every single thing. And if you don't think that's problematic, I don't know what to tell you. If at any moment in the future your PC can be bricked, that's shitty fucking design. And people saying, oh, Vanguard's safe because Riot is safe, because if they put all this money into it, and if it ever fails, their reputation's ruined, it's forever over, they're going to have millions of dollars in lawsuits. And that's true. But at the same time, people make mistakes. People working on Vanguard will make mistakes. It doesn't matter if they have a incentive to make sure it's as safe as possible. They're still going to fuck it up eventually. And when that happens, good lord, I don't want to be the one to say I fucking told you so, but I fucking told you so. Vanguard is never going on my PC. And if you care about the integrity of your computer, if you have a lot of investment in it, you know, if you have 500 plus other games you can play, then don't put this shit on your fucking computer. Alright? It's fucking retarded. Get this shit off your computer. But anyways, that's what I wanted to rant about today, and this will lead into a rant that I'll have later about Tencent. But basically, Riot Vanguard is extremely unsafe, and the fact that people think it is just genuinely ignorant. I don't know what else to tell you. It's if you don't see it as a major concern, then you're just fucking stupid. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Suck my dick, I guess.